What's up? It's time for today's lunchtime football call review. Getting into a recap of Sunday's game. Starting off, you got the Minnesota Vikings. They took on the Browns yesterday morning. The Browns started Dylan Gable for the first time this season on the road, and he didn't do bad at all. He had some mistakes as expected, but overall he played a pretty decent game. The big playmaker for the Browns was Quinshon Judkins, but Justin Jefferson and the Vikings offense, they was just too much to hold back. The Vikings ended up winning this one 21-17. Broncos versus the Eagles. Philly finally gets their first loss of the season from the Broncos. Broncos trailed all game to the fourth quarter. Then their offense started to come alive, and they scored 2 unanswered touchdowns. Philly might have had a PA that was missed at the end there, but the Eagles fell short to the Broncos. They lose 21-17. Saints versus the Giants. This game came no surprise to me really at all. I had a good feeling that the Saints would show up and show out, and no disrespect to the Giants, but they had it coming. The Saints were just hungrier and the healthiest team. It wasn't the highest scoring game, but the Saints seen the opportunity to take the game, and they did so with a late interception in the fourth quarter by Kool-Aid the Kitchen. Texans versus the Ravens. This one took me by surprise yesterday as well. The Texans, they did not come to play around yesterday. They dominated the Ravens, making their offense look silly without Lamar Jackson and had their defense looking unbelievably bad. CJ Stroud and the Texans had a breakout game, and that might have been what they needed to get them over their hump. Cowboys versus the Jets. Dak Prescott played another good game. Javonte Williams and Ryan Floyd put up big numbers for the offense, and their defense had 5 sacks on Fields. The Jets tried to put up a fight towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. The Cowboys win this one 37-22. Raiders versus the Colts. I pretty much called this one. The Colts defense brought the belt, and they used it. This was a one-sided beatdown. The Raiders went outside. Geno Smith had more interceptions than he had touchdowns once again this week. Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, they showed out yesterday. Colts win 40-6. Dolphins versus the Panthers. This was a really good game. It was back and forth to the end. Rico Dowd put up some major numbers in this game. Jalen Waddle and Darren Waller were the top playmakers for the Dolphins, but in the end, the Panthers wouldn't stay away. Panthers win in a close one, 27-24. On to the evening games. Bucks versus the Seahawks. This was another shootout. It was touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Both offenses were going off in this game, and it came down to a nail biter. I said Emeka Egbuka and JSN would both go off, and they did that as well. But in the end, the kicker for the Bucks got it done. Bucks go on to win in Seattle with no Bucky Irvin or Mike Evans, 38-35. Cardinals versus the Titans. This game looked like a blowout. The Cardinals defense had Tennessee's offense on lock the whole game. Held them just 6 points. The Cardinals offense seemed to be moving the ball along pretty good and doing their thing, leading the whole game. Fourth quarter came around and it was all Tennessee. They scored 2 unanswered touchdowns and won the game on a walk-off field goal. Commanders versus the Chargers. Jaden Daniels was back and did exactly what they needed. Him and rookie Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt took over the offensive side of the game. Their defense exposed the Chargers offense. The Chargers offense just didn't look as good as it did in the first 3 weeks. Jaden Daniels throws a late touchdown to Deebo Samuels to really seal the game. Commanders win 27-10. Bengals versus the Lions. Jared Goff, he showed out. David Montgomery gets his second passing touchdown of the year on top of having a dominant performance. Jake Browning and the Bengals got off to a rough start. Fourth quarter rolled around, and it seemed like the Cincinnati Bengals offense was finally starting to get going. They scored 3 touchdowns, but in the end, it wasn't enough, and the Lions still win 37-24. Sunday Night Football, you had the Bills versus the Patriots. From the start of this game, you could tell the Patriots was coming with one clear message. They were not messing around. Drake May and Stephon Diggs looked really good in this game. Every time it seemed like the Buffalo Bills defense had the Patriots stopped, Drake May had an answer. Bills didn't play a lighthearted game either. They went out there and gave it everything they had. James Cook was a little quiet, but Josh Allen looked good passing and made do with his feet. The defense even showed up and had some big plays too. In the end, it just wasn't enough. Drake May took his team down the field for one last drive and got them in a good position, and the rest was history. Tonight, Monday Night Football, we got the Chiefs versus the Jags. The Jags are surprisingly a 3-1 team, and they're looking pretty good. This is going to be an interesting game to see how it goes. Can Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs rally together